everyone, and welcome to Craig Duswalt's Rock Your Life TV series, where we interview amazing business leaders and innovative entrepreneurs like this lovely lady here. I'm your guest host, Dean Cain, and I'm sitting here today with Robin+Dgroot. No, is there any relation to Groot, the character from...
No, but it put my name on the map.
It did. So deGroot, D-E-Groot, deGroot, not Baby Groot, who's great in the last movie. Okay, great. So you're here today. You're going to talk to us about TLC Energy Center. So TLC, I'm thinking tender, loving care. Am I right or am I wrong?
There is an element of compassionate healing, but it's even more involved.
All right. Well, tell our viewers what we're talking about here.
Well, I work with people energetically with chakras, and even online there can be a lot of things you can do to heal yourself energetically.
Online?
So when I do online programs.
But you do both, online and in person, okay?
Yeah. So TLC for me is the three main chakras: throat, heart, and sacral.
That would be T-H-S? I don't know. Okay.
Well, it's because throat has to do with truth.
Okay.
Personal truth, living your truth, and heart has to do with love, which is the L, and the sacral has to do with creativity.
Ah, yes. TLC in a roundabout way.
Yeah, so my work, I want to get people to remove blocks, release blocks that are not getting them to do what they are truly meant to do in their life. And
something like some horrible event happened to them, there was a bad person in their life, something like that sort of stops them, doubting themselves, things like that?
It can be as simple as stresses. They get locked in your energy system, and eventually you become, the belief structure becomes that you can't do things. And people have to unlearn some of these things that happen over time. I mean, children are much more risk takers, and they haven't learned what they can't do. Yeah.
They haven't fallen off the chair that many times, or whatever it is. They're not afraid of it in that sense. So is it a physical thing that you do? Is it a...
I do bioenergy healing, which is a method I learned in Vancouver from Michael Dalton. So he has a method that I'm qualified to teach that. And I will teach it with groups when I have the in-person meetings, which is about 4 times a year.
Oh, with each, so if someone's doing, if I were part of that, you'd meet with me 4 times a year and we'd be able to go through it? Or is it you have a group and we all come in?
We meet as a group so that the 4 times a year we can work on each of those aspects of TLC. But the first one, we will learn bioenergy so that people can do it for their family and friends. And
so they can go and do this for them.
It's a chakra clearing method, and it's part of energy healing. So really it's close to the biofield, and you actually bring energy to the surface and bring it out. And it
so you teach me, I go do it to my family, and they're all, and I
and it's also the principles you can learn for yourself. You can do a lot of your own clearing. Everyone can, really.
I think I'm pretty clear, but can you look at someone and go, they're not so clear? Can you see it or feel it? Or what are you feeling?
If there is a black background, sometimes you can see auras, but there's a Krillon camera you can see. And the aura is made up of, every chakra has a color. So the colors go from a rainbow, from root is red, all the way up to very white, light purple.
Are you looking at me and seeing my chakra right now? Are you seeing something? And if you are, tell me something good. Don't tell me bad news.
I'm just saying that you would probably be very red, you're very action-oriented, and you're very creative. So root chakra is good.
That's good? It's all right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to have nothing. You're not looking at me right now going like, oh my God, this
I don't even believe in good or bad.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's a lot of times where something may be excessive, something may be deficient. So when you have the balancing you're looking for with a chakra, if I feel, this is how you do the method, is you do a scan and you're feeling each
with the hand.
Yeah, and it's in this small inch away from you, that's the field, our biofield. And it's like an electromagnetic field.
Sure, which we all know that is the real deal.
Yeah, we all have that. And the deficiencies can show up like cold, and the excessiveness can show up hot. And it kind of runs through you, back and front. So if our chakra resonates at a certain frequency, which is lower at the lower chakras, higher at the higher. If it's not resonating at the right frequency, you can help to balance that. And then the person's, everything that is expressed through that chakra, which is physical and emotional and life things, there is a theme, and those things can be better. after that.
I have to confess, every time you look at me, I'm afraid you're looking at my chakra, and I feel naked. I feel naked right here in front of her.
Well, there you go. The truth is...
It's pretty naked-like,
that's
right?
good. You want to be expressing your truth.
You're still talking to me, and you've seen me naked, so we're okay. Okay, so I'm not going to, nothing awful's happening. But I do feel like you're staring at my chakra, and I don't know. I feel a little, I don't know, I'm a little excited, a little warm. It got a little nice in here.
There you go. You can all take a drink.
So do you have a lot of competition in this world? I mean, I've heard things like this before. Are you the only game out there, or are there other people who are doing the same thing? And if there are, what makes you different than the other chakra folk?
Well, there is many varieties of energy work, and
I totally believe in that.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I've had
yeah.
that happen
Yeah.
playing as an athlete, and as injuries and things like that. I've gone through tons of that. I do believe in that 100%.
And I came to it from a pituitary condition, which is now corrected, but because I was seeking some kind of remedy, I learned about a lot of different things, and I was like, well, all the physical things, all the drugs, these are not working for me. So then I ended up being directed to this other avenue. And there's Reiki. Reiki is pretty popular, and I think the best description would be acupuncture. So as much as it used to be unknown or like not
Well, the
understood.
Chinese knew it, but not here in the United States.
Yeah, no, and everything is much more in the West now, so I'm happy about that.
That deals with all the...
So the best description I could say is that in the West, we often see the injury, we put the Band-Aid on it, and we fix them up so they can go on, but it often comes back and doesn't really, why did you get the injury? So if you look at Eastern philosophy, they look at the whole, and everything means everything. So a little thing can mean a bigger thing.
Sure.
And you try to keep energy flowing, and energy supposedly is able to heal us at all times. And there are beliefs that we are constantly reproducing all of our cells every day. So if you get stagnant energy and you
in
have,
a certain area.
yeah, so it's really like there's not good and bad energy, but you can get blocks in your energy system. So when you have acupuncture done, they'll put needles in specialized points, which are part of the meridians. And if you have chakras, they're like the transforming center that they balance the energy, and they send it out through the meridians to the extremities and towards your biofield. So they work together, and it doesn't mean that one's better than the other, because in both cases you're trying to release the blockage in the points where it is found.
And can you see that? You feel it? How does that go when you're doing it?
I think for me, I feel it. It's more like when I'm in that space with someone, I'll work.
She's looking at my chakra again. I can feel she's looking at my chakra.
But also, if people tell me what's going on in their life, because there are themes. So if a heart chakra is representing relationships, so if someone says, well, I haven't spoken to my father in 10 years, and I have some rift, and they're like, and I have upper back pain, then to me, I'm like, okay, the past is more represented through the back of the chakra, and the front has the current events. So it doesn't mean you don't work on both, you do, but it gives me some clues. So with my programs, I would first have a call with everybody, and then we do small groups where there's video modules, and they can have some things where they can already start to do everyday, daily things to clear energy on your own. Because Qigong, yoga, it's always clearing blocks because of breathing. And in Chinese theory and Eastern philosophy, which a lot of it is also from India, the breath follows energy, and energy follows breath. So that's why qi, if you would look at the kidneys are a major organ that cleans the blood. So we learned shiatsu, and there was a lot about the kidney.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was to energize or to maybe temper. And so if you were asking a patient who is on your table or floor when you do shiatsu,
wherever it happens to be, table or floor,
you say, do you want to be energized or do you want to be relaxed? Because some people are wired, and they actually want to get rid of anxiety.
That's the red chakra.
Well, orange is the sacral. Sacral is the creative center.
So I'm reddish orange.
Yeah, and if red is really about security, making money, your life is the practical matters, and I do try to get red in my life because I'm very ethereal, so I'm always in the upper chakras, which is kind of like spiritual dreamer, big vision. And then a lot of times and it kind of follows with numerology and astrology. I actually try to get this whole picture of people's life as what they were named, when they were born, because as much as you may not believe in it, I think there is a huge indication of the lens that you will see life through. And then that's all part of it. So I know I'm a Libra, which is an air sign. I do have a 6 life path number, which is all about, it's about healing. It's the responsible healer. That's what it's called.
And that's what you are.
And yeah, I'm always helping people.
So if someone out there wants to work with you and something like it, do they come to do it in a group? Do they come in?
Well, mostly I'm trying to get them to connect with me online, and then we have a good call. And I want to see what's the best avenue. Because it's good if they do some of the online work, and if they want to join the group that meets 4 times a year.
That's the group, okay.
Yeah, and the group can do hands-on, but there's so much that they can do on their own that I also recommend that. But it doesn't mean that neither is better or worse.
And that's okay. Okay, yeah. I got it. All right. Advice. This is a question that I ask everybody, and this is important because it sort of shapes a lot of people's lives, where they've come from and what they're doing. Is there one piece of advice? Is there a piece of advice that you got when you were a kid, when you were older, through somebody, through seeing someone's chakra? Was there a piece of advice that came through that stuck with you forever, that you still use today, sort of a mantra or something like that?
I would say be open to whatever's coming toward you and what's in your space at any given moment. And a lot of times it's people and their advice. And like when I was a Montessori teacher, one of the first things we learned is that we can learn a lot from the children. So we're all at equal level. We all sit on the ground in the circle, and we are not teachers. We're directress. We're just directing them because they're already sponges and they're learning their environment.
They are sponges.
So the main thing is to be open. And as soon as somebody says, "Oh, I know all that. I know,"
that's close.
They're just stopping so much. Yeah. And everything I've ever learned has been from somebody giving me a book, or just like I was looking for something and I was actually open, and then something comes. And it's a piece of information, but it sends me on a whole spiral to learn something new. And a lot of times it's from your injuries, from your mistakes, so all that is pretty huge.
Use it all.
Yeah.
All right, if you're game here, speaking of a game, if you're game to do this, we play a little game here, and we call it Rockstar Rapid Response. So if you say yes, which sounds like being open to it would be a yes, maybe. Yeah. If your chakra says yes, I'm going to ask you a list of questions. You give real quick rapid responses, one-word answers if you can. No one's ever done the one-word answers. We'll see what happens here. And are you willing to play?
Yes.
That's a good one-word answer. Okay, it's about 11 questions, and we'll get to it. And then after that, we'll tell people how they can get in touch with you. And you can get your chakra looked at. Be naked like me. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Don't look at my list. You can look at my chakra, but not my list. All right? Who is your favorite band?
Wolfsheim.
I don't have a clue who that is, but I'm going to look them up afterward. What is your favorite song?
Nova by V&V Nation.
Ooh, don't know that one either. Your favorite movie?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Good movie. Very nice. Morning or night person? Morning or night person?
Morning.
Morning. Ooh, I usually get night people. All right. This is a weird question. Where would you go if you were invisible? If you were a chakra that could go places that nobody could see, where would you go?
I'd want to be in people's living rooms who I'm working with.
Ooh.
Because I want to see like what's really the problems in their life.
Of course, that's not one word, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
That's impossible on that one, I guess. It just sets up for failure. What's your favorite food?
Prime rib.
Nice. Sorry, meteor. I like that. Biggest fear?
Hurting people.
Well, as a healer, it makes good sense. What word? Is there a word that you love?
Synchronicity.
Would have to be a big long word like that. Very nice. By the Police, by the way. That's a band. We won't get into that. Any word that you dislike a lot or hate?
Can't.
Can't. Use the contraction version. Not cannot, but can't. Very good. Make it shorter. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the coolest, how cool are you?
10.
I'm looking at your chakra, and I see it might be a little blue. Is blue good or bad?
Blue is all about truth.
Oh, good. It's blue. I see. All right.
There
That's
you
pretty
go.
cool. Well done. And lastly, if you could explain yourself in one word, what would be that one word?
Inspiring.
Inspiring. Very good. All right. Thank you so much for playing the game. Thank you for being here with me. If people want to get in touch with you, how do they do so, please?
Emailing is best, and then maybe telling me a time that's good to have a call.
And your email is?
Robin, R-O-B-I-N, at rmdeg, degroot.com.
Not to be confused with, Groot. I am Groot. No, Robin Groot, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. And she's seen my chakra. We'll be right back.